When you're creating a derived class, it's sometimes necessary to access member data and functions from its base class. Let's take a look at how to do this. Here I have a working copy of simpleinheritance.cpp from Chapter 7 of the exercise files. For example, let's add a method to our pig class to get the pig's name in Pig Latin. So come down here to the pig class, and I'll add a method, and I'll write the implementation down here. And I'll come down here and I'll call it with another printf. Because this returns a C++ standard library string, I need to call CString on that returned result in order to get a C string that I can print with printf. Now when I build and run, you see it says the pig is sometimes called Arnold A. Now, of course, there's lots of other fun rules for constructing Pig Latin, but for our purposes, this will do just to add the -ay at the end of a word. Notice in my implementation here, I called the name method, and the name method is a member of the base class. It's right there. It's the accessor for the private data member called name. Now, a couple of things about this. I could have specified that this is in the base class by giving the name of the base class and 2 colons like this. When I build and run, that does exactly the same thing. That's more specific. It specifies that the method is in the base class, but it isn't strictly necessary here because there's no conflicting name in the derived class. But it's worth noting because it can be necessary under other circumstances. Note that I used this name method to access the data member in the base class. That's because I can't access the _name data member because it has private access. I could give it protected access, but it's considered best practice to use an accessor method because this leaves access control in the base class where it belongs. You'll also notice that I gave a leading underscore to the names of each of these private data members. That's a convention that I use. A lot of people use a convention like that. It just reminds me that that's a private data member. So this is an easy method of accessing private data from a base class in the derived class.